ads that pop up while you are playing the game, and you need to pause and watch the ad to continue. Now that's the future of gaming.
Game companies' pursuit to keep adding new monetization tactics continues, and
True.
among the most hated of those tactics is in-game ads. This is something that companies have been trying to pursue for a while to no avail. People have pushed back harshly enough that it's never really been implemented en masse. So
Okay. Is it only me, or does Young suddenly look fat now? Previously, he didn't look fat. Is it the angle? Is this a different angle? So now he looks just like a chubby faced, or is it just me?
So Street Fighter V, for example, back in the day, it was panned for including in-game advertisements. Then there's the whole situation with NBA 2K. NBA 2K19 is treating
NBA?
loading
Wow.
screens as ad space now, and this is something that garnered a lot of backlash. Here's what that looks like for those who weren't there for this, where they promoted things like Snowfall on Fox. This is a situation that went pretty viral and was covered en masse. Here's a Reddit user who said unskippable ads in a $60 game. Fuck you, 2K. This garnered over 15,000 upvotes. And the following year, NBA 2K received backlash yet again because the unskippable ads returned, and there were reports of situations like these potentially causing loading screens to be longer because they want ads.
That's actually so true, because what's the point of an ad if it doesn't play fully? So, your loading screen is as long as the ad. Beautiful.
To finish, so even if the game loads before the ad ends, you can't skip them. You have to wait until the whole ad plays out before you can proceed to the game. So it's an artificial extending of loading screens just for the sake.
Was that a Nokia message he just received in the video? That was like a do. Wow.
Of ads. And then most recently, Xbox and Call of Duty faced some backlash because during the marketing campaign of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Xbox made it so that when you boot up your console, this ad for Modern Warfare 3 would pop up. And yes, it's not the biggest deal in the world. You can easily hit exit. It takes like 2 seconds, but it's still just...
Yeah, but it's still there, and that's really annoying. You know what's gonna happen to this garbage, by the way? It's gonna be the exact same situation as the live service industry. When the live service games first popped up, developers quickly understood that, wait a minute, this thing literally prints money. But the first live service games printed money because they were the first. There was nothing to rival them. But now every game tries to be live service. And you know what developers understood when everything is live service? That, wait a minute, you need to actually update a game with something big, essentially almost every month, to keep people interested. Otherwise, they leave and you get no money. So, and those who can't do that absolutely just destroy their games with the live service thing. So, you know, this is pushing back against the live service games. And this is the same thing is going to happen with these ads in games. The games that have these ads, people are just not going to play them at some point and choose to play the games with no ads in them. And that's going to be pretty much it.
Disruptive. Generally, this is just not something that was received favorably, and people would ultimately prefer that something like this didn't happen, where you do have to go out of your way to close an ad where they kind of shove this in your face, and it does briefly kind of interrupt what you're doing. The only way in-game ads might be acceptable is if it's like a free-to-play experience where the ads might pay for that experience, because free things have to, you know, monetize itself somehow. But even then, there are lines. You don't want to get too disruptive with it. But when you're talking about full-paid, full-priced products like a whole console or games that are AAA premium price and have other monetization tactics, the inclusion of in-game ads is just unacceptable. Which is why Ubisoft recently got a whole lot of backlash when people had this experience where while playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they got this in-game pop-up ad for Assassin's Creed Mirage, which has gone on sale or something on Black Friday, and Ubisoft wanted to promote this, and they started to see ads for this mid-game. So this is what that looks like. This is a Reddit user who posted their footage of this to show that this is real. So they bring up the map, and the first thing that appears is Assassin's Creed Mirage being 20% off for Black Friday.
You know what's the best part about this? Ubisoft being Ubisoft did the absolute pro gamer move and said, oh, that's a bug. Yeah, the ad you get in with the functioning close button and buy button that takes you to the place where you can buy it. Yeah, this is a bug. It's a bug! Oh boy. But honestly, I would not be surprised if the mouth breathers that play Assassin's Creed still think that it was a bug.
Friday, and there's a prompt to buy now or to close this pop-up ad.
And by the way, if you play Assassin's Creed, that's fine. But the average person who plays Assassin's Creed is not fine. Not fine anymore.
User closes this pop-up ad, and then they can access the map. This is kind of like the worst case scenario of in-game ads where they're shoved into gameplay to pop up disruptively. We're not even
You know what would be funny if they made it that there's just random dialogue when they go around, when you go around traversing the map of people talking about buying the new Ubisoft games, and the character mentions, maybe I should buy the new Assassin's Creed. That would be great. Dude, that would be next level. I wouldn't even be mad at that.
talking about loading screens here. It's when you want to access the map, which is something that you do quite often in an open world game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And going through the responses of this Reddit,
Ubisoft should learn from Bethesda. They made the map so bad and Starfield so unfunctional that no one even opens the map anymore.
thread, you can see how people feel about this. The top response here reads, yeah, this kind of shit should be considered unacceptable, and I don't disagree. On social media, this situation went pretty viral. For example, here's a tweet from PC Focus that reads, Ubisoft now interrupts gameplay with pop-up ads. WTF, this garnered over 18,000 likes and over 9.6 million views. And scrolling through the comments section, people are pretty disappointed. There are others who are speculating that this might be a potential reason for why publishers are pushing for things to be online only, so they can push ads and everyone has to see them.
This is why publishers push online only nonsense. I see games do this, and yeah, this has been happening for the last 15 years. Obviously, yeah. When it's dude, you can't ask someone to buy your game if it's not online. Duh. People acting like this is something new. This has been happening for 20 years almost at this point.
Whereas
actively. It happened even before that. Like the moment the internet was invented, someone already tried to push this in gaming. And just no one bought it because they thought it's stupid. Not anymore, though.
Consoles were disconnected, this kind of stuff wouldn't be able to be pushed. And then here's one more tweet from a content creator who tweeted, paying $70 for a AAA game with pop-up ads is actually revolting. That's some free-to-play mobile game energy right there. Ubisoft, the fuck are you all on? Here's another even more viral tweet that expressed...
That guy almost implied with at the end of tweet that Ubisoft has done anything of worth note in the past 15 years. No. Ubisoft's crowning jewel and achievement was creating the first two Assassin's Creed games and then the pirate one. And after that, Ubisoft hasn't done anything at all. They're just a joke. They're actually worse than Blizzard also. But they're so irrelevant nowadays that almost no one cares. Also, put your mouse right here. So my mouse overlaps with Young's and your mouse overlaps with our mouses. It's going to be great. Trust me. It's an experience.
Right there. Ubisoft, the fuck are you all on? Here's another even more viral tweet that expressed similar sentiments. You hit me with an ad in the middle of a $70 game I bought, and I'm uninstalling real quick. This garnered over 81,000 likes and over 4 million views. AAA games aren't even just $60 anymore. They're now $70. And for us to be able to expect the possibility of in-game ads in something we paid $70 for, which also likely includes other forms of microtransactions, it's just ridiculous. Now, I'm in the fortunate position of being able to be in a platform where I can provide content for free, and every once in a while, a sponsor will help support the channel. And today, the sponsor will actually help you save money and keep track of...
Help support the channel. Dude, okay, listen. Yongya is a literal millionaire. Okay? The sponsor's not helping support the channel. The sponsor is helping Yongya buy a house in Hawaii. That's what's happening here. If you don't believe that, if you don't know that this guy is a millionaire, I got news for you. And this sponsor is Rocket Money. Oh yeah, this is as stupid as a sponsor as it can get. Don't buy it. It's garbage. It's trash. Dude, if you need something like Rocket Money to help you save money, you don't have any money to save in the first place because you're an idiot.
Free. Anyway, back to the news at hand. This whole situation surrounding this in-game ad that popped up when bringing up the map in Assassin's Creed Odyssey went viral enough that Ubisoft was forced to respond, and their response was that this was not done on purpose, but rather it was a technical error on their part. When news outlet The Verge reached out, this is the statement that they were provided. We have been made aware that some players encountered pop-up ads while playing certain Assassin's Creed titles yesterday. This was the result of a technical error that we addressed as soon as we learned of the issue. Now, a lot of people...
I mean, Diablo 4 for some reason loads everyone's stash tab profile and, Battle.net profile when you get close to them because fucking reasons. And that's why you can't have more stash tabs than currently, otherwise the game just implodes on itself. So, who would say that Ubisoft, a worse company than Blizzard, actually did not honestly make this on accident? I mean, they're so inept and bad at their jobs, this is almost feasible.
Weren't buying this. This function seemed very specifically placed, and for this to be a technical error, I mean, it's got to be a series of really unfortunate accidents that led someone to accidentally program this thing into the game at the perfect spot when bringing up the map to come out with a statement as vague as it was a technical issue. Whoopsie daisies. Anyway, back to your daily gameplay. That was just not a good statement to put out, so eventually they decided to put out a more extensive statement where they added a bit more context. So the Assassin's Creed official Twitter page posted the following: "We have been made aware that some players encountered a pop-up message in-game while playing certain Assassin's Creed titles yesterday. This was the result of a technical error that has now been fixed. Our intention was to display a promotion for Assassin's Creed Mirage as part of the franchise news in the main menu of other Assassin's Creed games. Unfortunately, this technical error caused the promotion to appear in one of our in-game menus instead. We want to ensure the best player experience possible, and these disruptive pop-ups were promptly removed once we learned of the issue. We appreciate your understanding, yada, yada, yada." Now, despite this extra bit of additional context, people were just not buying it, whether it's the truth or not.
Really?
So, for example, if you look at the comment section here, in other words, says this tweet, and this is, of course, a sarcastic quote on their part: "We took your feedback. Our data shows that our players will not tolerate this. We will not push this on you at this point in time." Here's somebody else with a similarly sarcastic quote: "Guys, since you're so mad about us trying to pull this sneaky on you, it was an accident. Unless..." Looking at responses to tweets that other journalists and websites put out there about this whole situation, once again, people en masse are generally not buying it. With technical error, they probably mean testing the waters to see how players will react and if we can get away with it, is the perception of all this. Here's Insider Gaming, and when they talked about how Ubisoft blames technical error for Assassin's Creed in-game pop-ups, the general vibe is people saying, yeah, sure, technical error. Now, me personally, I'm not going to definitively say one thing or another. On one hand, I have to wonder how, given the complexities of making a video game, a function so specific where a pop-up appears after you bring up the map.
Well, then again, how does Ubisoft even make games? I don't think they're smart enough for that. I mean, I have a better shot at making a game while thinking that computers are black magic.
Be implemented so perfectly by mistake, but on the other hand, given the complexities of making a game, we've seen crazier things happen, and so maybe it is possible.
I could make a better Assassin's game just by relying on blood sacrifices on full moons than they could make with 1,000 coders.
That a technical error caused the pop-up ad to display in the wrong place. But the fact that such an implementation was even teased, even if we are to believe that this was by error, is kind of scary because of how well it worked and how disruptive it was, and how it might give publishers and developers ideas for future monetization schemes. And so, at the very least, it's good to see that people are calling this out so hard that it's probably going to make publishers and developers scared to implement something like this. And the fact that the Assassin's Creed Twitter page, the fact that Ubisoft had...
Nah, this is the future. Let's be real, okay, gamers? Let's look at the real world for a moment. Has gaming gotten better or more predatory over the years? The answer is more predatory in literally every aspect known to man. So, do you think it's going to suddenly get less predatory? No. You see, the difference between yes and no is very interesting. It's hard to say no constantly. And the moment you say yes once, that's it. You can't take it back. It's a beautiful system. But when you say no, you can't take the no back and make it into a yes. So, again, with time, this is gaming for you.
Had to officially come out with an extensive statement trying to do some PR damage control. The fact that Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed developers had to scramble so fast to put out this message and let people know this was a technical issue, we swear, tells us that this is definitely not something that they're intending to normalize anytime soon, realizing that the backlash would be intense enough that it's just not worth the PR damage that it would do. It'd be too much of a liability, which is why seeing such a mass pushback against this, whether this was a technical error or not, is good to see, as it sends a very clear message. But at the same time, it's worth noting that in the community notes, somebody pointed out that this technical error was already in Assassin's Creed Odyssey 4 years ago and could also appear when opening the map. Here's a content creator by the name of Bugland who tweeted the following: memory from 4 years ago and no one talked about it at the time. Now, this post is from November 24th, 2020.
Yeah, I thought that Ubisoft actually already did this. Yeah, I thought that the first time I heard it was already another Ubisoft game.
23, and looking at the video, you can see that this exact thing happened to this individual. But the full video where this is from is, in fact, from 4 years ago, and you can see right here that as this individual brings up the menu and the map, this pop-up did in fact appear. This is also Bugland, so it shows that this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. So the assumption that people are making is that the game was on some level primed for this kind of feature in case Ubisoft decided to get sneaky with it and implement this. And if it was a technical error, well, the technical error was maybe accidentally flipping the switch on this thing that was already primed, and then they had to turn it off when they realized how bad the backlash was. The fact that this possibility exists and is so easy for Ubisoft to be able to turn this thing on is disconcerting, and it just makes people believe that Ubisoft had some kind of intention to potentially pull the trigger on this thing, though hopefully the backlash here proved to the games industry that they're likely not going to be able to get away with this.
Is this supposed to be Rome or something? Well, obviously. But wow, what kind of alternative history are we talking about here? Dude, look at this. This is crazy.
I don't think publishers and developers will deem this a worthwhile endeavor, but you never know. That's the thing. You can never drop your guard on this kind of stuff because microtransactions.
It's fine. It's fine. Gamers have already lost. It's true. It's true. It only needs to be done once, and it's there. Anyway, this was Quizzer said, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Remember, Ubisoft is worse than Blizzard.